welcome to my channel. My name is Gabby. On Instagram I'm known as Gabby Glams. Maybe I should change my channel to that, but welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do a flawless airbrushed kind of finished look on the skin. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I haven't really done like a full face tutorial yet on this channel. I know I did a Bratz video and that was kind of like a joke video, but this one is something that I'm taking a little more seriously than usual. So stay tuned, buckle up, enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good time. So we're getting into it. I like to start off with prepping my face, but I'm gonna go over skin types for just a quick second. And I am putting a headband on because I have a lot of hair and it really gets in the way of me doing my makeup majority of the time. So I'm going to look a little funny for the majority of this. First thing I like to go over is skin types. So I have normal to dry skin, but it's usually very dry in the winter time. I like to moisturize, and even if you have oily skin, like moisturizing is essential to the start of your makeup routine. So I'm gonna start off with the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer. And I'm just gonna take a couple swipes because my skin gets really messy. Not cracked, but you can definitely tell when the moisture is not there. And then after that, I like to go in with the Kiehl's Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment. I think that this really helps absorb into the skin. And it also makes for a good eye primer too. Just helps reduce like creasing, a cracked skin look, you know. And the key to this product is that you only want to use your ring finger when working with your eyes. Okay, so now that I've moisturized, I'm just going to go in with a little extra step and add in the Clinique Moisture Surge Lip. My lips tend to get really cracked and dry, so I like to just give them a little bit of hydration. I like to give them extra hydration because that way my lips will be ready for whenever I have my lipstick on. So next, while I let the foundation of my moisturizer and my lip and my eye treatment work and absorb in the skin, I like to go in first. And I am an eyebrows first before foundation kind of girl. It's just how it works for me. You can do eyebrows after foundation. I just prefer the method of doing my eyebrows before because it's easier for me to work around and sharpen up edges that may have been a little extra fluffy, considering that I have very thick eyebrows. And when it comes to brows, pencil, although it can be perfect for thinner brows, I have very thick brows. I like to keep mine shaped and angled. I like the process of working with a brow pomade just because it holds the hairs down better for me. So I like to take an extra step, and I like to go in with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer, and I apply this into the places that I really want to have extra radiance on my skin. And this does leave like a very glowy effect. It's got like a little bit of a yellow tint to it. And that. We're gonna go straight into foundation. Preferably, I like medium coverage. I play with natural coverage, but I'm still more of a I just like to even out the tones of my face. I'm more whiter and rosy here, and then out here I'm like tan. It's just all over the place. So I like to keep it one natural step before I go into doing the rest of my makeup, like bronzing, blushing, and highlight. So I've been playing around with the Juvia's Place foundation and I really love it. My go-to is normally the Fenty Soft Matte Pro Filter foundation. But today I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place, and it is in the shade Cairo. It's like a neutral, it says it's a neutral, light warm is the undertones of it. I have neutral undertones, but during the winter I start to get a little paler, so I like to bring back my face color to my neck color for a little bit of warm. So I just put just a little bit on the back of my hand. And the next step, I like to mix rose oil in my foundation just because I have dry skin. So mixing that with my foundation, especially because this is a matte full coverage, and I do love matte foundations although I have dry skin. It's just an extra step to keep my skin hydrated and feeling nice and soft. The crazy thing about the Juvia's Place foundation is that it's very full coverage. As you can see, one swipe, it's crazy. It's intense. So I am using also a foundation brush. It is the Sephora collection in the number 47. This is my favorite brush, and I like to bring my foundation just a little bit below my neck. So then what I like to do next is go in with a damp beauty blender, and I'm actually going to go wet this, so I'll be right back. I go in with the beauty blender and I go wherever I see my makeup might have creased a little bit, or not creased, but like streaks from the foundation brush. So I can blur out some spots. And I know right now this might look wacky and not like my color. The lighting I have is very white. And I actually just took this foundation back to get an exchange for a better shade because the one I had picked before was still too white. After that, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape in light medium honey, and I'm gonna go in with a smaller concealer brush just so I can shape out my eyebrows and start highlighting the important significant spots of my face to bring more light to it. All right, so this is where I go in with the concealer above, and I think it's really important to note that I like to put concealer above my foundation because I find it typically useless to put concealer first and then foundation. It used to be my routine before, but then I noticed how it really was just not the point of me putting concealer and then covering it with foundation, only to just not see the benefits of the concealer that I was buying, specifically the fact that it's just a tad bit lighter than my skin tone, just so I can get that brightening effect. It's just very important. Unless you're color correcting, then I would recommend concealer under foundation. I'm not color correcting today. So now that we have officially set our foundation, we did our base, we have our concealer, I like to go in before I do anything else with the MAC Fix Plus. So I'm just going to close my eyes. We're gonna go in with the Anastasia bronzer in the shade Saddle, and this is just gonna warm up the parts of my faces. The part of my face. It's gonna warm up my face. That's what it's gonna do. And I like to use this bronzer in a very circular motion. I am going to go in with a bigger brush to really buff it out and give it more of a flawless finish. So when it comes to the forehead, I have a pretty big forehead. So I like to just go down a little more above my natural hairline, just so it gives that illusion of the shadow. That's why I like to go in with a bigger, more like fluffier brush. It gives me the freedom to kind of buff out any harsh edges. Just really gives that illusion of a more sun-kissed look, especially in the winter time when we all start to become pale and dry. And now I really would like to do a nice cute little holiday glam video. So let me know in the comments if you are interested. Oh my god, I'm totally being that girl. Let me know in the comments if a holiday glam would interest you. Like, I can do a soft holiday glam for, like, you know, nice family events, or I can get a little crazy and do some more, I don't know what I was going for when I said that. I can do some more wilder glams. And yes, I'm bronzing my neck. Sorry, I lost track of my thought. I'm really going in on this just to give it a more defined and buffed out. Okay, and you can keep playing with bronzer because this bronzer is really soft. I find it very buildable, so if I'm looking more for an extra effect, especially if I'm doing more intense contouring for like a full glam look, like not soft glam, I like to layer a contour and then kind of buff it out with the bronzer. So for the next step, I like to bake just a little bit, not enough to make you emphasize every part of your face, but enough to where you set the certain areas that need the brightening, you know, or kind of, I'm trying to find the word for it. It'll come back to me. But I just dapped in a beauty blender right under my eye where I added that concealer earlier. And you see, I don't put a lot. You don't have to put a lot. And the setting powder I'm using is the Juvia's Place translucent setting powder in White Sands, which I believe is like a medium. Oh, I just got that in my eye a little. Don't do that. You can sharpen up your bronzer if you want, but then it becomes more of like a contour. I just do it very lightly on the side. But I don't do a big heavy line. I don't do like a big effect to it. This step's an option. You don't have to bake your contour. I just find that this step helps me redefine the structure of my face, and then I can buff it out again. But yeah, I like to keep the setting powder right here under my eyes, so that way when I'm doing my makeup, it gives me the opportunity to do my makeup, and if there's any fallout, I can wipe it away along with the setting powder. Which is a really nice handy dandy trick, because I used to do, so the way I used to do my makeup, I used to do eyebrows and eyes first. So I would do my full eye look, and then I would go in and do a base. But I found the more that you practice working on a base, the more you know how to work around doing like more dramatic looks, especially with a base, because my biggest fear was fallout, because I would get a lot of fallout. But now I'm not afraid of that anymore, and I think working with learning how to get a flawless base has taught me more about makeup application. So I definitely recommend trying to learn and see what you're comfortable with. You can always do eyes before. There's no particular way to do makeup, you know? Everybody has their own preferences. This is just how I like to achieve a certain look of mine, but it might not be someone's favorite way to achieve this look. So right after this, I'm just gonna go in and do something really soft to my eyes. I'm gonna do it off camera. I'll come back and then we'll get into the steps of doing blush highlight. And that'll be it. So I'm back from doing my eyes. And I already wiped off the excess powder from the little baking that I had going on under here. And I'm just gonna go back over it with this round brush. And I'm not gonna apply any product to it. I'm just going to buff it out a little bit. Just because I feel like if I add more product, I'm going to ruin the appearance of a flawless and a natural base. All right, And then I'm gonna go in with blush before I do highlight, and I have a favorite. And it is the Sephora Tiger Lily blush. And yes, that is terrifying. It's orange. But I have a trick to it. So I like to grab my little flat top Real Techniques brush, put a little in there, tap off the powder, and I just go lightly on the cheeks. Do you see that color I added in very softly? It gave me such a beautiful, like, rosy cheek without it being too much. So if you are paler or on the more medium skin tone side and you're afraid of blushes that look like this, that is my trick to wearing a very orange blush, by not adding too much product. And I usually like to add blush around my nose, but not a lot, just because I feel like it warms up my nose. But today I'm not going to be doing that, just for the sake of this video. And then I'm going to go in with highlight, and now I still have my Anastasia Glow Kit. I have hit pan for the first time in my kit, so I'm a little sad, but it's my favorite color. It's in White Sand. You can use any golden highlight that you happen to have. A Wet n Wild highlight is amazing. I have one, but it's a little bit too deep for my skin tone. But I do recommend their highlighters, just not this one for me, because it just doesn't give me the color that I wish it did. It kind of makes me forget that I have blush. So I do go in with this, and you can spritz it a little bit with some Fix Plus if you want, or if you have setting spray, even rose water spray. I use rose water from Trader Joe's. That helps. Tap it in there, tap the excess, and just work that in. It's such a weird process. I always have to clean, or not clean, but wipe my piercing after I do like foundation and everything. All right, and this is an extra step. Not everyone has to do this. I do it. You can use a brush, you can use a beauty blender. I like to go in and just soften up the edges of my highlight, just because sometimes it can just look like a streak. I don't want it to look like a streak. All right, so after that's done, I'm just going to put my lipstick on, set my face, and the look will be complete. So that is it for the rest of your face. Now that I've done a little montage of my face, let me lower this light a little. Thank you so much for watching this video, for watching my channel. If you're interested, please subscribe, please like, please comment, whether it's critiques or you want me to do a look, or you have a question, or you want me to check out somebody else's channel. Please, thank you, and share this with your friends, whatever. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Sorry this outro is so awkward, it's just how I am. Thank you so much.